Crazy lady hair. Needing a haircut desperately. Um, so welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me. And looks like I need some lipstick on too. So we'll put some lipstick on as I'm waiting for people to come in. So welcome. welcome. Glad people are coming in, joining me today. Whoa, my pyrite fell. I got a big thing of pyrite. My pyrite. This was given to me years ago by one of my clients, and brought that in and gave it to me. So how beautiful is that? So thank you everybody for joining me, and for those who are just joining me or you come across my my YouTube video, please like and subscribe, share this out. I have goals uh, with my for boosting, boosting up, getting boosted up. My name is Mary June Tracy. I'm a psychic medium, spiritual level of life coach, coming to you with the 411 and of the cosmic highway, and sort of a helping to guide people. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm helping to guide people. I have to say, kudos to all the beautiful mothers out there in today's world, with young ones going to school. And I really, my hat goes off to you. I salute you guys, because back in the day when my kids were younger, honestly, I would be very frustrated as a mom sending her child to school today. This morning it was interesting because Mateus has a little runny nose and he's fine. I mean, it's more, I don't know, maybe it's allergies or whatever. And there's a checklist that you have to go through. And all the things checked off. He was fine to go to school. But he's 6. He's going to be 7 this year. But so paranoid that he's going to get other people sick, and that he has to stay away from other people and wear his masks because he's going to make other people sick. Now, I'm not sure, where, of course he hears things, he sees things, and he's certainly not getting that message from his grandmother. That's for certain. But from other sources, whether that be his dad or whether that is other, the school, etc. But this little guy is super paranoid about making other people sick. How horrible for a 6-year-old to be so worried that you're going to get other people sick because you got the sniffles. I mean, it's cute and it's kind and everything, but that should be the last thing on a 6-year-old's mind. Really, on I'm going to get somebody sick because I have the sniffles. That's, that's the, and this is like, if you think about it, when you're forming a child's mind, from 0 to 9, or even 0 to 7, they have their belief system. So here's a belief system in this child's mind that is going to have to be deprogrammed in some way. Otherwise, he could end up being extremely paranoid as he gets older. So we have a generation of youngsters that are super paranoid, or that will be paranoid because of this whole thing. That's part of the mental issues that many of us are fighting against, where we have a whole generation of young people growing up and seeing a world of masks, of seeing a world that wants to hide away, that is, and here we are. When we go to the there's a beautiful portrait I saw of indigenous people, and they put a hand, like painted a hand. They painted their hand and put it over their mouth. Absolutely, so powerful, so powerful. We don't want to. We don't want to do that to this generation, but we have. And this is where the power comes in. The power of change needs to come in, because when we look at it and you witness it, when you witness seeing a 6-year-old paranoid to go to school because he's got the sniffles, you know there's a problem there. And the thing is, especially for Mateus, he has a hard time lying. He really does. He's that air sign that just is just all going to blow. It's all going to come out somehow, somewhere. He's going to say it, and he's going to blurt that truth out, whether you like it or not. And him come because those were his general concerns, and my concern is when you see that, especially when you see that and you see that coming out, from him, and he's all upset. Um, my heart goes out to him. Of course, I want to keep him and I want to protect him, but I don't want to. The other part is that you can't shelter. You can't shelter. You got to go out and experience. You got to go out and explore. That's one thing I for my kids. They were they explored the whole neighborhood. They we went on hikes and they toodled off, and even the older ones took the younger ones out on hikes. I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, but it was an experience. It was an experience of experiencing life. And I feel like there's going to be such a fear of going out and experiencing life that these young people, I hate to say it, these young people, that the younger generation, the ones that are 6 or 7, because those are the ones that you really have to look at, are really going to, I think, have a lot of problems as they grow up. Problems, especially mental problems, um, phobias, issues with communications or different forms of communications, and having that adventurous energy. We're seeing it with the airlines, and I mentioned this. It's like I mentioned this all along about the airlines, and that you're not going to travel the way that you ever have traveled before. Like, traveling has changed, and it's not going to go back to the way that it used to be. I mean, even after 9/11, it changed, and now it changed again. And this is where, you know, when you used to go, even after 9/11, at least it was, you could have a drink on a long flight, or you could, there was some kind of enjoyability about flying. And with restrictions and everything with it, it's like it's not enjoyable anymore. And there's going to be even more types of restrictions coming on. And going back, it's like there is this cesspool of paranoia that's there. And with the energies that are coming in, like, with the year of the tiger, and which is ruled by, tigers are ruled by Aquarius energy because they're unpredictable. You never know, like, a cat's going to do what a cat's going to do. Uranus is going to do what Uranus is going to do. We are in such unpredictable energy right now that it can be difficult to predict. It can be difficult to know which way to go. But there is a connection that's coming through for us, and that's going to be the biggest part, especially, with like, even with my young grandson, is letting him know that he is safe, letting him know that to trust in how he feels, in that connection with his heart, and coming in and knowing that there is this connecting of higher energy that's coming through us all in many different ways. And this connection is, coming in from our higher mind and our creative center. And it's this light, this innovation that's coming through, that's running through all of our chakras, down into our sacral, to our root, down to our earth star, which is just below our the sole of our feet. Running this circuit is running through us enlightening us, in engaging us in order for us to come forward in such unpredictable energetic times, in times when you think things are going to go a certain way and they don't. They change, and sometimes they change at a drop of a dime. That's how powerful they are. When we have a year that is really ruled by Uranus and Pluto, we're dealing with explosive types of energy. And these explosions are going to come in through different forms. Like today it came through, unexpectedly. Here's a little 6-year-old having a total meltdown and being paranoid about going to school, like a total meltdown, and having to calm and let him know he's safe. And I having to go through a checklist, and I felt like this is utterly ridiculous, you know and I started jokingly said to my daughter, I said, you'd go to school and sometimes you had a bubble coming out your nose. I mean, that sounds kind of gross, but there was allowing that, this is what you do. You have an immune system, you're going to be okay. And you can give me all your theories about, yes, some kids have an autoimmune disorder and have this and have that, but it's living in fear. It comes down to it. And Uranus is this energy that doesn't want you to live in fear. It wants you to live in your power, of the unpredictability. And when I feel this power, or I think about this power, I think of, of like, I got Merlin standing all in white with his beard and everything, standing on top of a mountain, and the lightning coming down, and he has that his wand out there, and he's igniting himself with all that power, igniting himself with all of that energy in order to bring it down to his people, bring it down, and allow him to have this force within him. And I think that force is all coming down within all of us. This force of empowerment is coming down and igniting us in order for us to stand up, to light up, to allow ourselves to be this lightning force in an energy that doesn't want it, in an energy or a world that doesn't want you to be a lightning force, doesn't want you to be lit up. It wants you to be quiet, it wants you to be submissive, it wants you to hide around some corner and not be seen, to be seen and not heard. Is like, when you're younger, it's like, be seen and not heard. Don't say anything. um Go over there, just don't disrupt us. But when we're dealing with such powerful energy, it is disruptive. It has to be. It has to be, because this disruption is bringing in a beautiful, magnificent, magical transformation and illumination, a power for us all. And when we enter into and take the power of the tiger, bringing in that heart of the tiger, and it's a water tiger, so we're bringing in that emotion and strength of it, it is getting us to be the uniqueness of who we are in all our indifferences, in all of our parts of us, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And knowing that we can unite in all of that beauty and unite with all of that and bring it in with such a charge. And that's, as we're moving into today, and there is that moon in Taurus. That moon in Taurus is going over the nodes. And with that Uranus energy still there, it is that lightning energy going through the earth, igniting our earth star chakra, bringing it up to us and allowing us just to run this circuit, because so much has to change, in and around us. So much has to change with how we think, with how we see things in and around us. And I feel like this especially this month, is getting us to clear away any obstructions that are stopping us from truly illuminating into the light that we are here to illuminate in. And there is a and I keep seeing us like a pool. It's a cesspool of this gunky grossness that wants to fling its toxicity upon people to stop them from their illumination. And that could be just with you. Maybe you need to speak out at work. Maybe you need to speak out in your family life. This is where you need to stand up for who you are. Maybe it is that igniting of you having that conversation with you of saying, okay, this is what we need to do. And taking those steps, and I feel like taking those yeah, I feel like this push, like taking those steps and saying, "Okay, that's all we need to do is just these one micro steps each and every day, this one little step each and every day." Because if we start doing that over the course of the year, when we get to December 31st and we look back, we're like, "Holy fuck. Man, we've come a long way. Look at what we accomplished." And you would sometimes you're not even like it's like boggling, or you don't even think that you could have done it kind of thing. And it could be from simple projects that you're trying to do with your business, could be where you are working on self and working a lot with the shadow, where you are learning how to create something, or you're learning some maybe you're taking an economic class, god bless you, and you're learning something there, and it's just like it's so crazy. But at the end of it, it's like all of a sudden, after you take the class, somebody says something and you just like, boom, and it just comes out. It just comes out, and it's like, oh wow, I know that, I have that. And that's, this igniting this, of bringing in the clarity for us, even at times when we feel like we don't have clarity. So pretty powerful energy right now. And um what I for me personally, I know while moon in Taurus is usually a tiring to any time a moon is in, even though it's exalted, and the moon is the ruler of my chart, but it is the if it's in air, I'm fine, I'm busy, like I look forward to the Gemini energy. But when it's in earth, especially it's slow moving, and I get very tired, very tired. Plus with all the downloads that are coming in, and it makes you exhausted. And that's where I've been like, and forgetting things. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Just forgetting things or misreading things. It's just all I gotta say is just shake my head at myself. And just the blunders that have been happening with me lately. It's just like, oh my God, how could I have forgotten that, or forgotten that appointment, or how could this have happened? So just crazy, crazy little blunders. Weird things have been happening for me as well. And a couple of the weird things, and I mentioned it in my meditation this morning, is that I have an app on my phone where I go to get my coffee. And I knew I had money on it. I looked at it in the morning. But when I went to the s- to the coffee shop, Starbucks, the money wasn't there. But then when I looked at it later on in the afternoon, because I saw it, it went, how you see how money leaves your account, go da, 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 da. That's what it did. And then it came back later on. It was so weird. So weird. And I felt like almost like, did I go into a time warp? Did I go into some kind of weird anomaly or something like that? It was quite interesting, because I know I go through different I can sometimes I'll be driving and I can see the time lords building, or I just happen to hit them at a time where I'm not supposed to be, and I see them building. It's like hitting another dimension. and I can see them creating or building something along the way that's, you know, um anyways, yeah, it's just an odd thing. But it also gave me when you look at the economy and you look at things happening, and we're seeing banks close, and where you thought your bank was there and then it's no longer there, kind of thing, um, which is interesting. I feel like it's like all of a sudden this is what they can do. It's like you think you have money there, and then all of a sudden it's gone. It's gone. So that's why, so many people are fighting to keep, not necessarily, but keep the money, keep the money and not just have digital currency, because it's so easy for things to get taken away on digital currency, with that you thought was there and it's not there, you know, sort of thing. So that kind of energies. Anyways, don't want to go down that road right now. It's really bizarre. But a couple things. I have my readings on sale right now. They're 15% off. I've also where if to ask a question. Got a question? I have like ask a question, it's $10. And when you start, I feel if you start asking more than one question, best you book in for a reading. But if you're like perplexed about something and you are just like, I just need to know, like, why is this happening? And I will draw a card, give you, what the info that comes through to pass on to you. And sometimes, the thing is that the answers that come in when you ask somebody, and I always tell people to be careful what they ask for when they ask me, um, is that sometimes they're unsettling. Sometimes the answer you get is unsettling. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's like, oh, yes, okay, I knew that, and I just needed clarity. But sometimes it can be unsettling, and it's like, well, I got to sit with that for a while, and that's fine. Many times you get information and you have to sit with that information for a little bit, or you don't see it right away. You don't see it right away. And it's like, okay, I'm just going to give it some time because I don't see that unfolding at this time. And then all of a sudden it does. So this is where it's, trusting in into that energy and the information that comes through for the question. So if you have a question, I'm doing $10. You can send the $10, ask the question, and I will text you, DM you, however you want me to send it to you. I'm not going to do it. It's not going to be on Zoom. It's going to be, I'll type it out and give you the information. And it's one question. I know sometimes it's like hard and you want to ask another question, but it's one question and I give you the answer. And the answer could be sometimes one sentence, it could be two sentences. The one question could be a whole paragraph, almost a story. But you have to trust what the information that comes through, and allowing your ego to be set aside when you are asking the question and you receive the answer. You have to put your ego aside and allow yourself to sort of sit with the information that comes through for you. So if you have a question, it's $10, and one question, $10, and then I'll send you the information. So I'm doing that right now, and it's fun to do. I find it fun anyways. So I want you all to have a fabulous day, onward and upward. And may the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you, and all that you say and all that you be and all you do. Have a blessed day, everybody. And we will talk to you tomorrow, or maybe sooner if you write me a question. Have a blessed